The autobiography I'm going to talk to you about today is Without Reservations by J.W. Bill Marriott. It's a series of short stories from Bill Marriott's childhood leading up to him being a young adult, observing his father run the hot shop restaurants before the family went into the hotel industry, right when he started going into his adult years. Most of the stories that he talks about have common themes such as how you treat your employees, how you go about training your employees, and also management by walking around, a concept that I've heard countless of times in many of my hospitality classes. One of my favorite stories within the book actually has to do with training. He started off as a pot washer while he was studying to receive his undergraduate degree at Utah, and he liked his position at the time because he liked washing pots and seeing the stack just be done at the end of the day. But he was later moved on over to the grilling and frying station and was asked to clean out the fryer one day. He wasn't told how to clean the fryer though, so he kind of just winged it and added hot water and soap into the greaser that had hot grease still inside of it, and so all the contents just bubbled over and spilled onto the floor, causing an even bigger mess, which ended up taking a longer amount of time for him to clean. And he realized that if the chef had stayed a couple minutes behind just to explain to him how to clean the fryer in the first place, that incident would not have happened. And he took that experience from when he started working in the hospitality industry and applied it over to when he started managing many hotels for the family. He calls a veteran management program, and this management program comes into play when they open completely new Marriott properties across the globe. So what happens is that when the property is about to open and most of the talent that comes in and is the new management staff has never worked in Marriott before, they bring in this veteran Marriott management into the new property in order to assist the new talent on how to properly run the hotel, how to set the standards for employees, how to motivate the employees, and also assist them with any problems that may occur as they try to bring guests in and start creating business for their property. And even after a couple months have passed and the business is doing well and managers start becoming comfortable in their position, they may leave, but there are still a few of those veterans that stay behind in order to continue helping these new managers, just in the slim chance that problems do arise that the managers do not know how to resolve yet. And I find that incredibly helpful. There are many times when, for instance, I would ask a manager how to complete a certain task, how to fix a certain machine, things of that nature, and the response to me would be, "Don't you already know how to do that?" And the answer is, "I haven't been trained yet." And it's a good system that Marriott uses, that they bring in veterans who know the ins and outs of how to run a Marriott hotel, how to run it successfully, assist these new managers in order to make the new generation for Marriott. I see it as them helping these managers who they believe are going to stay within the company for years, and they will end up teaching the new managers that come in the next year, and so forth and so forth. So I see it as an incredibly helpful tool that Bill took from spilling fryer contents all over the floor. He also talks a lot about management by walking around. He remembers going to the hot shop restaurants and observing his dad talk to the employees there. He knew the employees' name, he knew their families, the restaurants themselves were gathering places for the community. He knew most of the regulars' names as well. So he took that same knowledge that his father instilled into him into running the hotels, which was that he believed that managers should know their employees' names. And the way he does this is that he goes into a separate Marriott property, announce that he's gonna show up, and ask the manager to walk around the property with him. And the reason that he does this is to check how well that manager knows the layout of the property. He also checks to see how the employees react when they see their manager outside of the office. If that manager never gets out of the office, the employees are going to be very surprised. They may start to act as if they're very busy with work, or they all of a sudden just stare all the time. Things of that nature suggest that that manager doesn't step out of the office, doesn't interact with their employees. He also checks to see how many employees, how many of the employees that manager supervises does he know the name of. So he checks to see how personable this manager is. He believes that if a manager passes in all those areas and they are good at what they do and they're able to pick up on problems a lot quicker before they get out of hand, because they have an open communication flow with their frontline staff, which again I completely agree with. My manager knows my name. She knows also the names of pretty much every person that she supervises, and she's able to pick up incredibly quick when problems do arise, when we do have customer complaints, so there's machines that are not working well with us, things of that nature. I see how response time and open communication go hand in hand. If I wasn't so comfortable going up to her with problems that we feel are in our department, then those problems would never get fixed, or because I would feel that my opinion doesn't matter, or that I would get scolded for stating my opinion in the first place. The book is generally a huge book on advice for future managers, I feel. He wants these managers to understand how important it is to remember that the people that you are going to be supervising are people first, that you have to see from their perspective, that you have to understand their problems, their issues as well, and be willing to help them out. There are various programs that Marriott offers to their employees in order to help them with their own personal issues, which again is very helpful for employees who need that. But in all, he just seems like a people person, and it shows through just so much emphasis on helping the people that work for him be prepared to do their job, and also for the managers to understand that in order for them to be successful, they have to know who their employees are and have to help them be successful as well. So I do recommend this book. It's also a funny book. He has a lot of funny anecdotes in there about the mistakes that he made when he was younger and how he learned from those experiences, which is something that not many people do in real life. They make mistakes and then later on they make the same mistakes again. So read this book. It's not a long read, and you will learn a thing or two about what makes a good leader in the hospitality industry.